Hey guys, I made a 6-hour road trip with a couple friends down to Key West, Florida with the GR Corolla. It has been a surprisingly good road trip car. I'm gonna take you on a quick tour around Key West from my hotel, but let's do a quick walk around here. And don't think that I parked like this overnight. I just moved it like this so I can give you both sides of the car. I was parked right here. All right. We know the GR Corolla, we know a lot about it. This is actually the first time I've reviewed it, but there hasn't been a whole lot of changes for 2024. The Circuit Edition lives on, and that's what this one is, coming in the mid 40s, but you can get this vehicle in the Core Edition for around the upper $30,000 price range. Now underneath the hood, we should probably talk about that because any hot hatch sports car, it begins with the powertrain. I love the functional hood vents here that only come on the Circuit Edition, or I think the Morizo, but the Morizo is discontinued for America. Real light hood here. Beautiful 1.6 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder, 300 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Made it exclusively to a 6-speed manual with auto rev matching. I love the attention to detail with the GR, the Gazoo Racing airbox there. The beautiful engine presentation overall. And of course it is all-wheel drive with the GR4 all-wheel drive system. The GR Corolla was the first vehicle to bring the refreshed daytime running lights to this generation of the Corolla. We have a very wide grille at the bottom. Should probably turn on those fog lights here, but there's that GR badge. Another GR badge. Functional air vents here on the side. Let's get these foggies on. Let's turn it on here. Auto. Fog lights should be on now. They weren't on auto before. Closing this, black mirrors to accent the other black accents. There we go. This thing looks proper now in the early morning with the fog lights. My neighbors probably don't appreciate all the beeping this car makes. All right, the GR Corolla has beautifully decorated red calipers with oversized rotors, Michelin Pilot Sport 4s here. These wheels are forged, so they're a little bit lighter. And that's, you hear a lot of scooters down here, obnoxious. I've seen a few Groms. Respect to the Grom in the garage back home, I miss it. There's the beautiful GR4 logo with the side skirt. This thing is quite a bit wider than the normal Corolla. And speaking of normal Corollas, guys, I'm gonna take you on a trip real quick. I got two base LE rental Corollas here with the hubcaps. So, all right, back to this guy that costs probably twice as much as them. All right, we're gonna make our way back. On top we have, it's getting a little bit of condensation here. You can put a little smiley face, Key West with a beautiful car. Look at the forged carbon fiber roof here on the Circuit Edition. And we also have this beautiful wing here on the Circuit Edition, glossy black to match the glossy black functions of the side vents as well as the front grille. The triple exhaust here in the back, it looks pretty amazing, and it is indicative of this being powered by a 3-cylinder. All right, GR Corolla badge on the back right. The rear lights match the front lights quite well. I think it looks really, really nice. All right, I always want to find the lift gate button here. That's actually where the camera is, so it's all the way down here. It is not like automated, right? The weight savings, but we have the GR Corolla mat here. This thing was completely loaded up for 3 dudes. It held everything pretty well. We had some underfloor storage too. You have additional storage here to the left or right for more belongings, but fix the flat kit and you can fold down the seats. You also have this tray as well, which you could probably put something on, but it's gonna roll away more than likely when you lift this up. But you could keep this down and there you go. All right. Have an additional shelf there when you close the hatch. Closing this, and I think that's about it for the back. Now getting on the inside here, it's cheap. What do you expect? It's a Corolla. At least we got some nice stitching down here, glossy black. We have the suede here on the Circuit Edition as the mosquitoes are flying in here. Gonna be a blood donator today, but yeah, nice seats. I like the red perforation on the inside, nice stitching. My seat is set up for me at 6'1". I have not sat back here, of course. I've been driving this the whole time, but it is soft back to the seats, mat pockets on each side. And I love how these are adjustable for the driver and the passenger. Oftentimes when you have sporty seats, the headrests are not adjustable. Little dome light above. We've been using this 12 volt back here for additional power. You also have a USB-C here too. Super, super handy. I wish there was a little bit more storage in this car. Since it is a manual, there's not like a area in here to lift up and store things. So storage in here is a bit difficult, but we make it work. A couple cup holders here and one cup holder on each side in the door, which is handy for that road trip action. On the inside, we have soft touch at the top, unlike the back door, stitching across, stitching down here, more glossy black. And this has been handy as well. We've ran out of cup holders between all of us, at least in the front. And these will hold a couple bottles of water for you. Manual adjustable seats, no big surprise really on a lightweight sports car. The bolstering in here is absolutely perfect. These seats, driving for 6 hours, no one was getting fatigued by them or uncomfortable. They're super, super comfy, and they are heated here. All right, on the inside, oh, by the way, and we also have the Circuit Edition here. It says limited to 1,500 for the 2023 model year. Yeah, let's keep moving. There really aren't major changes between 23 and 24 model year. JBL sound system, jamming out some tunes on the way down, as you guys will see in the B-roll. Not going very fast down to the Keys. I'm idling this now. I was getting over 30 miles per gallon. My first fill up, I think, was around 26, 27. I'll put it on the screen for you, but with sustained speeds around 40 to 50 miles an hour going down US 1, it is a perfect situation for fuel economy. All right, GR badge on here in the steering wheel. It's a little skinny, but it's fine. It is comfortable. It feels really well made. GR logo here on the engine, or turning the car on. We have a wireless charger in here. It is in a weird spot, but you got to put it somewhere, I guess. And then I love how Toyotas allow you to defeat that and turn it off with a button. All right, we also have your heated seat function there. I haven't used drive modes at all, so there's that. You also have Marizo, which is Akio Toyota's racing name, here on the shifter. Beautiful shifter here, the GR badge. And I haven't even, can you believe I haven't played with this once? You have everyday driving at 60% to the front wheels, and then you have this drift mode, which is 30% to the front wheel, 70 to the rear. And then there's a 50-50 mode too, which it's not allowing me. Oh, I just have to push it down. And that splits it 50-50 weight distribution. But it's so good and standard here that it doesn't bother me. It's 60-40. Plenty of traction. Very functional with the volume knob here. Android Auto has been working. It just disconnected itself. Not sure why, but it is a wired connection. Oh, my phone restarted. That's why. It's not the car's fault. But volume knob here, climate control has been great. It's pretty icy in here overall. And since you can turn off that phone charger, you can put your phone up here. You know, they put a lot of red stitching in here, but on the dash, come on, Toyota, you could have done something really nice here and put some of that suede on that dash. That would have been an excellent piece of furnishing here on this GR Corolla, but the dash is pretty much soft. All right, early morning Key West. It's actually quite beautiful and peaceful. Beautiful place to walk around any time of day here, as long as you're not blasted too hard by the loud scooters. Driving this GR Corolla, slow and fast. Okay, well, let's start with slow since we're in town, and we'll try to get out of town here on the highway to test a little bit of its acceleration and handling, even though there's not a lot of turns here in Florida. That's no exception in the Keys. So driving around town, what's it like? Well, the clutch is, I feel like the friction zone is right in the middle, and you're always on the clutch in a manual in town. There's no weirdness going on compared to something like a Civic Si. That is always hard to launch smoothly or just get going smoothly. It doesn't fight you in that regard. Flying through the gears though, sometimes first, second, and third, I'm not the smoothest between shifting throughout those gears. Here's famous Duval Street. I'll take you guys down Duval. I'm very lucky that my hotel is just a couple streets away. I'm very lucky that my wife also let me go on this trip with a couple of my friends, kind of like a bro trip. down here to Key West for a few days. They had never been before, and what better vehicle, or what more fun vehicle could I have for a trip to Key West? It must be trash day, so I don't know how I'm going to get around the trash truck here. And I don't know if I've ever driven down Duval Street. Duval Street is the strip here in Key West. It is where all the big stores, bars are, but there's so much stuff outside of Duval Street as well. So it is quite amazing. Maybe I'll be able to get around this guy. Let's get around. Oh man, there's just no one on the roads in Key West in the morning. Everyone's hungover, sleeping in. And it's just, there are tons of roosters here, tons of chickens. They are protected by the city. And that adds to the character to Key West. Now, going over this broken pavement here, this is one of the few towns in Florida I feel like that has more character with the streets, since the roads are the city's super ancient. And so on an island, you're not going to have perfect things, even though the weather's perfect here. It's perfectly hot too. But okay, back to the roads. It's pretty bumpy in here, but it's not nearly as bumpy as like a Kona Inn, for example. I still feel like it's pretty well damped, but it is firm. You never feel like the suspension it is like underbaked in here. All right, so it's very comfortable, but on the firm side. And moving slowly through the gears, I typically don't have any problem making it super smooth with the transmission. Is when you go fast, it's not quite as the shifter is not quite as accurate as, like, let's say Hondas, that are very hard to beat. They're some of the best shifters in the industry. I would give this like an 8 out of 10, the shifter here. But with that being said, flying through the gears, I have missed like my 5th gear before. So there's that. And yes, going through these bumps, like I said, it is firm. Suspension doing the best it can, but with the car fully loaded with gear and people, it was super comfortable on the highway. And surprisingly, it was quiet on the highway as well, the GR Corolla. Much quieter seemingly than the standard Corollas, like the Corolla Hybrid or the base Corolla with the 2-liter. And I feel like the gearing's spaced really well in here. Doesn't feel too tall or anything. This car is a little too stiff for Key West, and this is the only time I've had issues with the stiffness of it. Because in Naples, where I live, we have perfect roads, and so driving around town, picking up the kids from school, dropping them off, it's been a dream to drive around town. Now, every time you turn on the car, there's a button over here, the IMT Intelligent Manual Transmission, allows for auto rev matching downshifts. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It makes it for getting those perfect downshifts super easy. You don't have to worry about rev matching as you brake or heel toe or any of that. It just kind of is an easy button. A lot of the competitors have it too. I know Hyundai with the Elantra has it, the Civic Si has it, the Civic Type R has it, and I'm probably forgetting pretty obvious comparisons as well. But auto rev matching downshifts here is a welcome addition here. And it was actually on, excuse me, the hatchback Corolla in the United States with the manual before it was canceled. They canceled the standard hatchback manual when they brought this model for 2023. The shifter location's absolutely perfect for me. The throws are fairly long, but they feel good. They feel good. The shifter feels very high quality. You get some nice feedback as it slots into gear. Little Fiesta there. All right, so just lugging around too. And fifth or sixth gear has been really easy, even with people in the back. I can only think of one or two times when I was going up the bridge that I downshifted to fifth gear, and it's because I wasn't going that fast. So sixth gear is fairly tall here, and like I think it's going like 50 miles an hour up the bridge in sixth with a loaded Corolla. And yeah, I needed a downshift, which is it's not even a chore when you have an intelligent rev matching. I forgot to mention the pedals are also aluminum, and I know some people have complained about the gas pedal and the brake pedal being pretty far spaced out, so heel toe is pretty much impossible. Like I'm trying to play with it right now, and it's just not happening for heel toe. There are purists out there. This vehicle might not be the vehicle for you because you have intelligent rev matching, but you can disable it if you want to do it the old-fashioned way, rev matching downshifts. But I mean, I use that technology all the time. I love how the emergency brake is not electronic like some of the competitors. And it's red stitched like a base, like it looks like a nice baseball stitch on. It's beautiful, super easy. Love that it's right here. Like the Miata is all the way over on the other side, but yeah, and I'm so happy it's not electronic. I think it might be electronic in the standard Corollas, but this is just money having the handbrake here. Love it. Of course, it takes only premium fuel. I can't see very well. There is a little bit of rev hang in here, but it's an acceptable amount, I would say. And once you get past third gear, it doesn't get in the way at all. And just driving around town, you can easily lug this thing around in sixth gear, around 40 miles an hour. The engine still feel like if I put my foot down, I'm still getting, and I hear a little bit of turbo hiss when I get off. You might not hear it between the AC and the other ambient noise going on. And the turbo noise is one of my favorite things about the GR Corolla. Toyota could have kept it from entering the cabin, but they wanted that turbo noise, that hiss between shifting gears or getting off the gas. It just sounds awesome, and that's something you don't get with the Hondas as much, or pretty much anyone. Most manufacturers, you just don't get a lot of that turbo noise. I think the Mazdas have a good amount, if I remember correctly, like the Mazda 6 Turbo, for example, but none of it comes close to this vehicle's turbo hiss. It is awesome. And yeah, lugging it in sixth gear, on the fuel economy meter here, it says I'm getting like 60 miles per gallon here. Now about 50. So this thing, especially with only one person in here, I bet you could get like 35 to 40 miles per gallon pretty easily in here. And it might come close to maybe the Civic Si with a little 1.5 liter turbo in that. But that only has around 220 horsepower, if I remember correctly. This has 300, but it also costs quite a bit more than the Civic Si too. This vehicle competes a lot more with the Civic Type R. It's a lot easier to launch this thing successfully, obviously with the all-wheel drive system compared to a Civic Type R. And this also would be fun doing some trails, light trails, dirt roads with the all-wheel drive system as a rally car. This has the same bones in some ways. You could say same technology, I guess I could say, with the GR Yaris that we unfortunately do not get here in America. But the GR Yaris, in most trims anyways, does not get this 300 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque tune that we have here. I think there might be a couple, like the GRMN Yaris right now. I think that has this engine tune, for example. But the GR Yaris, without that vehicle, this vehicle wouldn't exist. And it shares the all-wheel drive system. It shares a 1.6 turbo. The manual transmission is probably about identical between the two, I would assume. And we are leaving Key West. Doesn't take very long. island's pretty small. It is not the largest of the Florida Keys. That would be Key Largo. Let's see if we can get around here. Blind spot monitor's been great. What has radar cruise control been like on this trip? I haven't used it that much, but pacing is really well. I have also used the steering assist in here, and it works really, really nicely to keep me in the center of the lane. If I'm like opening up a bottle or something, it helps with, you know, just that extra level of safety for sure. Getting the bugs off when I went through the Everglades was, well, a lot of them are still there. You can see their graves with the morning sun coming up. But the windshield wiper fluid and wipers are awesome. It's something most people, I just use my flashers instead of my windshield wipers. It's early, guys. It's early. I haven't talked about the headliner here. It is okay. Feels pretty cheap, to be honest, but most people are not carrying. And I don't think you can get a sunroof on the GR Corolla. Obviously with this carbon roof, no sunroof, but all right, so passing power here. So let's say I'm just going around in six gear, for example. It's easy to just go to third. This thing has tons of balls. And I don't want to go too fast because I think this is like a 55. I'm sure there'll be state troopers out here for those silly people leaving Key West. You got to put them in check. But it is absolutely an amazing road trip car. The road noise is not overbearing from the tires, which I thought it was going. I thought it was going to just drive me bonkers. But going 65 here, oh, that was pretty harsh, but that was mainly the road's fault as we got onto this bridge. Stunning views, and you have good visibility here in the hatchback. Like the rear glass is absolutely massive. Yeah, it's great. Great shoulder support here. Like I said, the seat comfort is fantastic. Even going over these this bumpy area, I still feel very, very comfortable. The seat soaks up a lot of the harshness too. It's a very, very, very good seat. And since we're always in all-wheel drive here, let's do a little 50/50 GR track. Wait for this car to go by, and then we'll give it some beans. It is really fast. That's all, like 300 horsepower for me is really all you need for the streets, whether it's an EV or a gas car or a hybrid or whatever. Like 300 is a ton of power for the streets, in a small car especially. And a bigger, if you're in a truck or something, of course you like to have more power than that. But for car usage and performance usage, to me that's like the happy medium for the streets. You can use it without getting into too much trouble. And in this situation, you also get pretty good gas mileage as well. All right, but I'm getting back into Key West. I'm gonna get some breakfast and head back to Naples today. Typically I get pretty annoyed with having to work in manual a lot, but that has not been the case here on this road trip with the GR Corolla. It's been really smooth, and it doesn't require a lot of effort for me to drive this thing very, very easily and smoothly, if that makes sense. So it's a great, I would say it's a great everyday vehicle. You could daily the GR Corolla. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it. I think it's pretty comfortable. These seats are much more comfortable than a standard Corolla. But yeah, I absolutely love this car. Would I pick it over a Civic Type R if they're the same price? Oh, I don't know. I like the compactness of this vehicle. I like small cars. The Corolla now, or sorry, the Civic now is just enormous. It feels super long compared to this hot hatch GR Corolla. And I like the all-wheel drive system here. So yeah, ooh, it's tough. Yeah, I'd probably pick this over a Civic Type R. I think a Civic Si is still a great budget vehicle, and also the Elantra N is fantastic too. That just getting a refresh, so I can't wait to test out the refreshed Elantra N. But yeah, I'd probably pick this. Would be right at the top. Welcome to Key West, guys. I always recommend you come down here at some point in your life, because it is a historical part of the United States. It was the wealthiest part of the United States for a while, and actually in the 1800s it was the most populous part of Florida, believe it or not, this tiny island, due to the amount of money here from the shipwrecking going on, washing upon the coral reef system. All right, but I got to shut it down. I'm not going to give you guys a history lesson and bore you. The GR Corolla is fantastic. I'd be happy to daily it. I think it's every bit as good as its competitors, and has a lot of character. Fantastic all-wheel drive system, a spunky little 3-cylinder that is actually really smooth, and I like how it sounds. I just wish I had more exhaust gurgles and pops, and there are probably some aftermarket systems that can help you out there. But yeah, I really like this car, and I don't want to see it go. I'll catch you guys in the comments. Let me know if you've been to Key West, where your favorite places to go down here. And if you haven't been to Key West, I can't recommend it enough. And to drive down here, if you're able to, is such a treat. So I'm going to end this video with a lot of B-roll of our way down with the GR Corolla. So if you're never going to make it down here, at least I can give you a little bit of that experience going over the bridges and getting the beautiful views of the Florida Keys on US Highway 1. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
away. Turn the page. We'll live in endless summer. Elevate. Wide awake. We'll live in endless summer.